Hello again. This is Nick Lodato, and this is the fourth in the series on creating accessible documents in Word. This one I've titled Loose Ends. Now, I originally intended to do an episode on tables, and we'll do that next time, but I wanted to tie up a couple loose ends. First, I wanted to give you an idea of what a screen reader sounds like to someone who needs to use one, and perhaps illustrate why it's important to format the documents properly. I also want to finish the discussion on styles in terms of showing you how to save those styles and how to modify them and where they actually exist on your computer. So let's get to the hands-on piece. And what we have here is a document that was created in Word, um, well created, that is, it uses styles, and saved as an Adobe PDF, which is a very, very popular way of sharing documents. Now, what I want to do is fire up a screen reader called NVDA, and it takes a second to get moving. You do this with keyboard commands. So NVDA has been loaded, and I'm going to give NVDA the keyboard
NVDA example.pd, heading level 1 page 1 NVDA example. This Microsoft Word document will be used to demonstrate how NVDA will read a well-formatted document. Heading level 2. What is a screen reader? A screen reader is a software application that can read electronic text to the user. Popular screen readers include List with 4 items, Bullet JAWS, Bullet NVDA, Bullet Microsoft Narrator, Bullet Speakeasy out of list. Heading level 2. What is NVDA? According to Wikipedia, what is NVDA? What is a screen reader? Heading level 2.
So notice what I did was use the keyboard command, Shift H to go to the previous header. I did that twice, and I can then now resume from that header. So it's a way that you can navigate using the keyboard.
Heading level 2. What is a screen reader? A screen reader is a software application that can read electronic text to the user. Popular screen readers include List with 4 items, Bullet JAWS, Bullet NVDA, Bullet Microsoft Narrator, Bullet Speakeasy out of list. Heading level 2. What is NVDA? According to Wikipedia, the Non-Visual Desktop Access, NVDA, is a free, open-source, portable screen reader for Microsoft Windows. Heading level 3 History. NVDA was created in April 2. Exit NVDA dialog.
So notice that NVDA announced each header, NVDA announced the list, told you how many items were in the list, and said the word bullet in front of each item. That's the kind of impact we're looking for. That's what we expect to do here. So now let us start again by firing up a Word document. So when you initially open Word, you're faced with a choice, an immediate choice that asks you, what template do you want to use? There is this blank document template, and there are others. The blank document template is sort of the standard. When it came predefined with predefined styles by Microsoft, you can point to more templates over on the right and see that you have a whole array of Office styles, pre-made document templates with predefined styles to fit certain circumstances, like a calendar. And you have your own personal area. By the way, this area on top is basically the ones I've used recently. Now, if you recall from the last session, we did create a document and then save the whole document as a template. We call it a test template. So I'm going to invoke that here. This is part of our personal store. Now, this is not the normal way you use templates. You actually can have sort of pre-filled out boilerplate documents as part of your templates, but it's not standard. I mean, if I want to basically inherit these styles that I built in the last episode, the special formatting for the heading 1, let's turn on the the little bar display that shows us what headings we have defined, what styles we have defined. And here, notice that this is in list paragraph, and this is in list paragraph. This is styled as a heading too. We want to save those things, and we want to use them for every document that we create. So I'm going to make this a little more usable and also give you another example of how we use styles. So first off, I'm going to highlight this text, which again, it's all list paragraph, but it's numbered as opposed to this list paragraph, which is bulleted. And I am going to define a style, create a style, and call it numbered. So basically, I've defined a new style, numbered, that uses the list paragraph style as its basis, but gives me numbers. And here, I'm going to do the same thing and create a style, and we'll call it bulleted. And again, it's the list paragraph style, but with bullets. There are other styles I might want to define. I like to redefine the caption style so it looks the way I want. I like to define a style that I'll call figures for illustrations centered with a reduced font and the spacing the way I like it. But we'll stop here. So now basically this document encapsulates what I like as my normal document style with Callisto MT 12 point. What I like is my headers, a sans serif font, and my numbered and bulleted styles. So I'm going to select the entire document and delete the entire document. So now I have an empty document. My styles are still there. There's only one paragraph. It's the normal style. And I am going to save it as a document template. There it is, Word template, .x. And if you noticed, immediately the location of the default location for storing this file changed to this particular directory. And I'm going to call this my normal. Word uses the word normal for the file that defines the normal document template. So I'm going to call this my normal and save it. And I'll get out of this and restart up Word. And a blank document is going to have these original definitions. Calibri body, the heading is Calibri light, which I'm not that thrilled with. So if I invoke, though, instead my personal document called My Normal, I now have that Callisto style at 12 points that I like, and the heading that has a bolder look that I like. So that's my document template. Now, let's get back, and I want to address one more thing that just popped up, and that is that where did the thing get stored? Well, the normal document template, that's the default when you pick up that blank document, is in this convoluted path that I'm not even sure is visible. I can't remember. I automatically set my directory so I can see everything as a default when I navigate Windows. But here's where it is. It's under a file on your system drive, typically C drive, a directory called users, a subdirectory with your username in it. So if you have 10 people that have accounts on your computer that have usernames on your computer, they each have their own space. So that's my space. My username, it'll be your username for your own computer. Microsoft Word, when its Office is installed, it creates this whole hierarchy. It creates a directory called app data that I think is invisible. a subdirectory called roaming, a subdirectory called Microsoft, a subdirectory called templates, and in that subdirectory is the normal document template. The M refers to macro, that it's capable of these macros. Macros are procedures that run established sets of steps to help you automate your work in Word. But that personal template that I saved is in a different location. It's in users, my username, the subdirectory documents. And by the way, this is a shortcut. There is a shortcut by the name of documents that goes directly here, so you don't have to navigate those. You can go to documents, and you'll see after you save your first template that there is a directory that was created by Word called Custom Office Templates, and here's that my normal .x that I saved that's without macros. So that's the location of the templates. This has changed over time. This is relatively new in the last couple versions. People had a hard time finding the template in the old world, so Microsoft decided to keep their default templates separate from your personal templates. So in summary, we had a look at screen readers, and I hope one of the things we've learned is that screen readers work best when the document is well formatted, using headings and lists and other things that we'll talk about in subsequent sessions, that you can define the styles so that they're styles that you like, so that you don't have to redo it every time you open up a new document. You don't have to live with the styles that came with Word that Microsoft determined. You can make your own, and you can save them in a document template. So that's all for now. Hope you've enjoyed, and as usual, please feel free to contact me if you'd like any more information or like me to address any particular topic. So thanks again.